Every time there's a shift internationally or nationally in power, communities reorganize themselves to build power, to fill in those gaps. And this is one of those times when communities are exercising their self-governance to not only fill gaps, but reimagine what's possible in the future.
EJ was always about building power for communities of color who were at the intersection of racism, of poverty, and pollution.
This stretches back to the beginning of civilization with the idea of who gets the benefits and who gets the detriments when we as a people live together. What's new is that when our nation, when the United States was founded, we were founded as really a system of racial apartheid, racial caste.
It's no surprise then that the descendants of those very people are the ones that end up living near toxic pollution. In this country, if you chart race, the more there's people of color, the more likely there is to be toxic exposure and to live right next to or sometimes on top of toxic facilities.
The challenge of this moment is that there are so many intersecting crises. That is all compounded by the climate crisis. The only solution that our communities have in our toolbox is collective action.
Wins in our EJ and climate movement come from relationship to community. That is the crux of environmental justice. We need to be working with community in order to see outcomes.
It's about really just grounding in our humanity and getting back to sacredness, right, for like life beings, and that includes everything from the natural world to our relationships with community to our relationships with ourselves. It's bringing back the village, really healing our soil and healing the earth in ways that it is able to provide for us.
This fellowship is the only one of its kind. To be able to be clear about disruption and what you're disrupting, we are trying to disrupt ideas. We are disrupting life decisions and trajectories. The hopes and dreams of this fellowship was actually giving people the space and time to dream.
The fellowship in a lot of ways brings together leaders who come from a generation of this practice, 2 or 3 decades of a struggle for ending sacrifice zones. They unite these leaders and help them harness and build new collective leadership practices and encourage each other to have different mindsets towards the future.
I mean, that's the work. That's the work of social change. We meet the needs now and we keep building for long-term infrastructure and structural change.
We're fighting corporations that stand to make millions and billions of dollars off our exploitation. And we still need to fight the order that has been imposed on us, because we have not dismantled that yet, and we can't pretend it's not there and that it doesn't want to kill us.
We all are living history every single day. Each one of us is deciding every moment the world we want to build. And a key facet of the climate justice movement has been to imagine boldly, bravely, maybe even insanely imagine what's possible. What we have now is not how things have to be.
If we are the seed, the entire future is already contained. And even though we're here battling through the mud, this future will open in a way that we could not possibly imagine.